Do it live.
Making sense in a mad, mad, mad world. You are now listening to The Madness Collective.
Hello, I'm Antoine. I'm your host tonight. Crescent is still recovering. She will be back soon. Keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Tonight, we are joined by Jason. Say hello. And
Oh, yeah,
Chavez.
Jason.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Okay.
Right.
And just briefly, tonight we're going to be talking about Trump getting booed at the Libertarian event. What the fuck is going on with that security guard at Cannes? Lizzo was on South Park and it was fucking hilarious. Master P claims that Patty Labelle ain't making no money off her pies. Abby Phillips keeps catching strays from niggas on her show. This time it was a black Republican. Terrence Howard was on Joe Rogan. We could do a whole fucking episode on that. Apparently Ben Affleck can speak Spanish better than JLo fluently. Gayle King is in her cougar era and she's out of fucking control. We might talk about Kramer from Seinfeld explaining why he used the nigger word so many times during his stand-up routine that basically canceled him. And we may talk about what Donald Trump posted today, Memorial Day, instead of celebrating our fallen heroes. And that is where we are. So let's get into the first topic, Donald Trump getting booed. Did y'all see this?
I did not.
I did. Yes.
Thoughts?
I did. Jason.
Who, me?
Well, I mean, being that you are, a little bit more politically inclined than, the other two people on here.
Oh, no, man, I don't think so, bro. But yes, I am terribly Trump averse. So I very rarely say his name, even in writing. I'm glad to see this happen because we are having, and we won't go too deep, we're having a lot of scary polls and et cetera about how the current president is doing in this reelection challenge. So it is good to see the Libertarians and what I expect that they represent a lot of the more moderate Republicans.
They do.
I expect that they, and I've been hearing, the moderate Republicans aren't going to go for it. And I've been kind of doubting that, and this brought some hope to my heart. And just watching this motherfucker get booed is always fun. I didn't watch it because I can't watch him or listen to his voice.
Well,
I did read about it, though, at least 9 times because I wanted to check different places.
Well, it's funny, though, because, and I'm not going to go deep into it because I didn't go down the rabbit hole, but there's this guy that I guess is either in jail or about to go to jail named Ross. I don't know his full name. And the Libertarians, they support him. I don't even know exactly what he did. But what's not relevant is what he did. It just means it's somebody the Libertarians like, and Trump tried to use that to manipulate them by saying, if you vote for me, then I'll free your guy. I'll commute his sentence. It's just terrible. It's just absolutely terrible.
I mean, this, the whole thing with the former prez is basically, I'll take a line from Malcolm X where he said, "Chickens coming home to roost." and I'm just gonna go back to say, I'm an independent. I see value in both party platforms. It's just one party does not execute any of the things recently that they say that they are affiliated with or a part of. Because so much has been allowed to happen throughout, this whole experiment of America. This is basically where we are right now. I mean, I'm going to always say they allowed, after the Civil War, the Union allowed the Confederates to continue thriving on that message. And here we are today. So you're just talking about 200 plus years of people seething and being upset about things. And this is it, I mean, this is really where we are right now. And it's weird because I never thought I would see an American political party like literally go into the realms of where they're going right now. It's very interesting thing. I'm not scared. I mean, there are always places to go, but I will say it is January 6th. Once that happened, nothing will shock me. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Once January 6th happened, there's nothing that can happen or be said that will shock me. That was the biggest shock I've ever had.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
I mean, in going back, I believe because I'm just looking through the chat a little bit, and somebody was like, "That's what happens when they step out of their MAGA bubble," and that's true about so many things. In that some of the things they say sound insane to us because we are not consistently surrounded by people that agree with what they're thinking. So I think that he thought anybody that is not a Democrat is on the same, while the Democrats are often accused of playing identity politics. Nobody is going identity politics as strong as what is currently being called the Republican Party, which is not the Republican Party at all. It's the party of Trump and his Tramptards. They're following him because he has taken power. He's taken all. Bear in mind, my man was a Democrat forever.
He was
forever. Bear in mind, my man was not running. They took him on as a Republican because he was the only chance they had come 2015 and a half. And they thought they could control him, and they could not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whoever's got batteries in his back and is putting money in his pocket and ideas in his head has control. And I don't think they know who that is, and we certainly don't. It's not him. By all means, don't consider him any more of a genius than Terrence Howard, which we'll get to. So I think that's what happened, man. That's why he went there, is because the same as hearing Jan Wenner from Rolling Stone say, "Oh, we didn't put any blacks in this book about the greatest musicians ever because they're really not that smart. They don't communicate well with it." It's that once you've surrounded yourself with no one but people that believe the bullshit you believe, it is hard for you to get out of that paradigm of thinking. So he's like, "Oh, they're not Democrats and they're not Republicans, but I know that they must hate what I hate and want to get rid of what I want to get rid of because they're not Democrats. So let me just go talk to them and get those votes."
I think they're further away from his ideology even than Democrats are. Like, he just
absolutely
is in no way, shape, or form is libertarian.
No.
And just the arrogance, because a good friend would have sat him down and said, "Hey, this is going to be difficult for you. These people, because they're a smaller party, a lot of times when you are the outlier, you are a lot more intense and focused on your belief system than the status quo, because you're different from everybody else. It's important to have a strong community and be strong in your convictions." So yeah, the idea that he just walked out there and thought that he was going to get cheers and win them over is just crazy to me. That just goes to show how arrogant he is.
Well, Antoine, first of all, you have to have at least a friend in order to have a good friend. You have to have a friend in order to have a good friend, and I don't believe he has even one friend.
Yeah, because nobody can tell him anything, and that's one of the things that's good for. That's one of the things that friendship is good for. When you're not saying things clearly, your friends will set you straight and clown you for it. We're gonna go into the comments for a little bit here. Let's say hello. What's up, Tony? Tony's in the house.
Tony Whitlow.
Column's here. Teresa is here. Sarah's here.
Karen.
Yeah. Let's see here. Karen. Yeah, you just said Karen.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sarah said, "I'm gonna go with trash for 1,000, Alex." I don't know why my delay thing for the comments is lasting longer than it's supposed to. They should be disappearing quicker. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Has everyone liked? That's what I want to know. Has everyone liked this video?
You know what? Let me tap that real quick since I'm here.
Yeah, you might as well.
as I no longer say these. Let me
Thank you for reminding everybody, Chavez. Yeah, thank you, Karen. That's why I'm ill prepared tonight, because I was trying to do too much. I'm trying to have the show rebranded before Crescent comes back, so that she has a nice
As
nice
a return gift.
Yeah, has a return gift. Thank you. At any rate, we'll get back to the comments in a little bit. So the next topic is that can security lady. So she fucked around and found out. I'm gonna try and pull this up. So she's had 3 more altercations outside of Kelly Rowland. There's a Dominican actress who she was I think she was crowned Miss Dominican Republic. She also what's her name?
I think it's Mirles or something, Taveras.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't want to fuck her name up.
I don't speak Spanish, bro, stop.
So she also competed in the Miss Universe pageant. I guess she competed for her country. She was, the contestant from her country. So she had this long dress on that had an image of the face of Jesus and the crown of thorns at the end of the dress, and it was set up in such a way that she had to be positioned a certain way in order to see the image at the bottom of the dress. And I guess that lady wasn't having it. And let me see if I can pull up. We're going to see. So, yeah.
Guys, my worst
I don't know why that's going to Lizzo. Technical difficulties. Yeah, so she shoved her. She was like, fuck you. She kept getting in the way of her adjusting her dress because she spent it. That dress is gigantic. So it happened to her, and then I believe it was, and I'm finna fuck this up. I think I'm gonna say it was a Korean lady. She was there for something. That woman was annoyed because the woman kept doing the same thing that she was doing to Kelly. She kept putting her hand in front of her so that you can get a clear photograph of her. So that happened. And then there was a Ukrainian model there who also got into an altercation with her. So, yeah, I don't know why we don't know this lady's name, why she's not being interviewed, but yeah.
I don't know why she's still there.
Her name is Polly Popoff. Her name is Polly Popoff.
And you know what? Let me find this Korean lady's name because I don't want to get dragged for it. It's a K-pop actress, and her name is Yoona. She's a Korean actress. She was a K-pop star. It's spelled Y-O-O-N capital A. I've noticed this with the K-pop groups. They have these strange combinations of letters and numbers a lot of times for their names. I don't know what that's about. I'll have to do some research to get back to y'all on that one. But yeah, at any rate, I think we talked about this before, but with Kelly, there were a lot of black women online saying that they've had encounters with people in France and that this isn't new to them. I need to find some proof of this.
Real quick. Is France where Oprah was that time she went to buy a purse and the person
it was. And they but that's not the same thing, dude. That was just not letting Oprah open a store by herself when it's already closed is more of an entitlement thing than.
Well, no. Oprah was there. What happened was Oprah was there, asked to see the purse, and the lady she was saying she didn't know who Oprah was. She didn't let her see the purse because she didn't think she could afford it.
Oh, I can see that.
That's what happened with Oprah that time.
Yeah, but I mean, does Oprah look like she was gonna run with it? Let her take it. Let her hold it. What's she about to do?
I always find that fascinating. Go ahead. I'm just like, how the fuck do you not know who Oprah is? But I do remember, this blew my mind. If you see, Beyonce's best video to me is Run the World Girls. That's my favorite Beyonce video. So there are men in the video. There's a portion of the video where there are these two small African guys dancing with her. She's doing the same dance as she's flanked by two African men. They look like they couldn't be more than 19 or 20, not even that old. And Beyonce saw them online doing this dance, and she wanted to incorporate the dance into her video. So she invited them to be in the video and to teach her the dance. When she showed up, I think Beyonce went to Africa and met them. I could be mistaken. They may have come here. They had no fucking idea who she was.
Yeah.
So I guess it's possible. I guess it's possible to not know who Oprah Winfrey is. I'm fascinated by that.
That's us. I think that's us being stuck in our American bubble the same way conservative champions are in their bubble. Like, we just imagine, like, how could you not know who Oprah is? Apparently, whoever's been making this meme about Oprah being in pictures with all of the molesters and stuff, there's like this meme that black folks are putting up of Oprah with like 3 or 4 different, Puffy and blah, blah, like, oh, she must have known something. I was like, this is the goofiest shit. Pictures of what this picture thing proves is that Oprah, like all rich people, happens to know a gang of other rich and famous people. What is this picture thing?
True.
Y'all sound goofy as fuck. Like, what? I don't know. I'm not even an Oprah fan. I just think that's dumb.
Yeah. What can you do?
I don't know. I like it.
Okay. So let's see here. Let me see here. Hold on. We fucking up. My graphics messing up.
And also, just quick, Beyonce did snatch up from France, coincidentally, 2 of the best street dancers that have ever existed, and has her with Les Twins that she still has with her.
Oh, Les Twins. Yeah, Les Twins. Yeah.
They're absolutely 2 of the best dancers I have ever seen in my life. And most of y'all don't know me, but Chavez knows that's almost spoken by an expert almost. I know something about some dancing.
Indeed. Indeed.
Okay.
That would be like Jason being Kobe Bryant talking about Michael Jordan.
Hold on a second here. I have to reset something here real quick. This graphic thing is kind of crazy. So we got Con, we got Dominican, and give me 1 second here. Sorry, y'all. We're doing it live. We're figuring things out live.
Yeah, I've been following Les Twins for a long time, man. When I saw those dudes back in the day, absolutely amazing.
Same thing. I stumbled across them in a battle they did when they were like 15. When they were still 15, I stumbled across it and have not lost track, because I was like, these dudes are the most consistent. All of this weird tech robot dancing stuff we see now is all their stuff.
My sister was living in Vegas at the time, and they like lived in her building. So she knew them. Like, they would just be walking around and shit. Everybody knew who they were, and they would always just start. You know how when you're watching a musical and people just break out in a song. She said these niggas would just start dancing just with dance and have a crowd around them and shit. I know that's right. That's how you end up with Beyonce. I think this should work now. All right, there we go. So Lizzo was on South Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna play y'all the clip. I'm just gonna play the clip and then I'll explain to you what happened afterwards.
Guys, my worst fear has been actualized. I've been referenced in a South Park episode.
Yeah, the Grammy winner was included in an unexpected way in South Park's The End of Obesity special, which aired Friday night.
I'm so scared.
But Lizzo didn't waste any damn time to find out how they screwed her.
Now there's a whole new obesity drug for those of us who can't afford Ozempic and Mounjaro. I've controlled all my cravings to be thinner with Lizzo.
It's Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo was the name of the new diet suppressor drug that had taken South Park by storm.
I've lowered my standards and my expectations.
And that was pretty much Lizzo's face for the entire 45-second infomercial until her special album made an appearance.
Serious side effects may include pancreatitis, hypothermia, and literally shitting out your ears.
Take me, not my child.
Ask about the power of not giving a with Lizzo.
That's crazy.
I just feel like, damn, I'm really that bitch.
So I didn't think she would appreciate that in the way that she did, because it can be taken either way. It could be insulting or it could be celebratory at the same time. So the premise is, y'all know Cartman he's overweight on the show. So I guess he goes, because I didn't watch the whole episode. Apparently he goes to the doctor to try and get an Ozempic prescription. And I think the doctor is like, you're too young. It's not marketed towards you. And he's like, but we can't prescribe you Lizzo. And basically he's saying Lizzo is better than Ozempic because it doesn't change anything. It just makes you not give a fuck about what anybody thinks about you being fat. So that's the whole premise of it. I thought it was kind of genius, but I could see how she could have been offended too, but she seemed like she a good sport.
No, it was comedy and good fun. If you know anything about South Park, or if you know anything about The Simpsons, you already pretty much know what it is. And I think it was kind of genius the way they approached it too. It was funny. That was funny.
I agree. Because they always, part of their shtick is they not just go celebrate you, they go clown you a little bit. So, they not just go, that's not good for laughs. I remember, because they got the one of their iconic ones, and we'll talk about her later, is the one where Cartman turns his hand into a hand puppet, and it's JLo. Did y'all see this episode?
No, I did not.
JLo gets Cartman draws a face on his hand and says that it's JLo, and starts filming. You know what? You have to see it. You have to see this. It's crazy. It's probably the best episode they've ever aired. At any
that and when they kept asking your boy Kanye if he liked fish sticks, like, you like fish sticks? Like, yeah, I like fish sticks. Like, yeah, then you a gay fish. He's like, what? Like, you like fish sticks, right?
Well, another funny one is the funniest ones involve Cartman, because it's another one where he doesn't understand that Asperger's is spelled ASPER, whatever it is. Right. So he's like, I have Asperger's, and he literally thought it meant burgers in your ass.
Okay, y'all get goofy.
They got some fucking classic episodes. Let me get back. We'll give it to the comments for a second.
Because they're supposed to be like teen or preteen boys, so I can only imagine the multiple benefits of having your right hand become JLo in a situation like that, if that's how you're living. So there's a subtext.
Oh my God. Yeah, taco flavored kisses. Let me fix this thing with these comments staying up for too long. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I said 12. I'm gonna change that to 10. We're doing it live.
Everybody stick with us.
Yeah, stick with me.
Hey, can I ask you something, Tony? Antoine? Yeah. Is this the first time you had 3 male hosts same night?
I don't think so, because this is the first time that I've hosted the show in this version of it. So this is the first. Unless, no. Yeah. Well, let me think. No, because Crescent has been here. Because in the past, I'm the person, Column said, let's not forget obesity is a serious health problem. It's true.
We will never forget that.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think it's the first time. time. So y'all eat it up. A lot of testosterone here tonight.
Right. It's me and my mans and them Monday, huh? Me and my mans and them.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What Tony just said, and what Callum said. Callum. I don't know.
It's Column. It's Column.
Okay.
Yeah.
What Colin said and what Tony said are both true. It's like, but it seems you could spin their message, and it seemed like they were kind of half spinning their message, and the way she took it was like, yes, being overweight is not a great thing. It's a horrible, maybe you want to deal with it, but they're there to make jokes. And their joke was basically, but you do not have to give a fuck what other people think about you. And that, whether or not that's how she really took it, that's the message she gave us at the end. Although it seemed a little bit like she might have, I won't say been in on it, but it might be the kind of thing where like, before we do this, let's just shoot her team a little thing, because she was able to very quickly turn it into like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But and also, honestly, you almost don't have a choice but to be a good sport about this, because if you bitch about it, then that just fuels. That just gives everybody all the
And they're
all the
not going to give a fuck, because that's their brand.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, you didn't like it? Fair enough. I like that you didn't like it. I hope you don't like it.
Yeah, because remember they came out. Who did they remember? Isaac Hayes was on the show. He played Chef.
Yep.
And the reason Chef is no longer on the show is because it's no holds bar. Everybody could get it. So they had a Scientology episode. And Isaac Hayes is a Scientologist. And he took offense to it and he quit the show. And then they killed him off.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought Chef was off because Isaac Hayes was dead, not because Chef was.
No.
Isaac Hayes is dead as well.
The what?
Isaac Hayes is dead as well. As you know.
No, I just meant when he was at the time on the show when he was alive. He left the show when he was still alive, not because it was a disagreement.
That's what I said. He left the show when he was still alive.
Yes, when he was alive when he left the show.
I hereby nominate Chavez to be Isaac Hayes for Halloween this year. So there. I'm gonna get you a chain vest, nigga. I hope you wear it in a cape and a chain vest, nigga. I hope you sexy. I hope you got chest hairs, nigga. We about to get you ready. No, I'm kidding.
And all I do is go out and get some taco meat. I'm gonna get some taco meat
and glue it to your chest.
I proudly rock my taco meat. I'm not hairy, but I got a few hairs there.
Chocolate salty balls. Remember that was his specialty.
I love that Isaac Hayes was on that show. I was so mad when he left the show. That was just fucking iconic.
But you know what? No, to paraphrase, Scientology is a hell of a drug.
Oh yeah, well that's like they don't play. Like you don't get to make fun of them. That's why he left. You stand in solidarity with them. So the next story it involves Master P and Patty Labelle. So Master P, you know what? Honestly, I can show you better than I can tell you. We got several videos now. I hope we might get flagged after it posts later, but at least people watching it live will get the full effect.
Why you buy Patty Labelle pies?
Support my sister from my city. That's my auntie.
Okay, give him a round of applause. Now we gonna get deep. Who created Patty pies?
That's a question I don't know the answer to.
See that? That's why we here today.
Saw it. She created it and someone else made it.
Okay, that's why education is so important. So think about this, right? And y'all could go on y'all phones and do y'all research and say, who created Patty Labelle pies? Is you shocked? We about to see this right now. That's why education is so important. See, it went viral, but this ain't go viral. Who created it?
Keena Thomas.
Who is Keena Thomas?
I don't think she's from Philly.
Oh, hold up.
Oh, she's a Walmart? I knew it. I knew it was Walmart. I knew it was Walmart. I said great value.
Oh.
Yeah. What?
Oh, see that? So now you mad. Don't that make you upset? I want to educate y'all, right? So let me tell y'all something. So that been in Walmart for 8 years. Why that's not in the back of the store?
Walmart own them pies, man.
All right. So let me explain something to y'all. Patty LaBelle owned 10% of that.
Wow. What?
So you buying it because it's Patty LaBelle's name. So think about this.
Okay.
So
all right.
So much wrong.
Well, let me say this.
Go ahead, Shabazz.
It's about education. So if
that's
you
so
Google,
funny.
If you Google, do Master P owe people money? Because I know people specifically, personally, that Master P owe money to.
Nigga, his fucking son, Lil Romeo, said he owe him money.
So
We'll start with the fact that this nigga had the unmitigated negracity to talk about how important education. I don't know a lot about Master P. I'm not an educated man, so I'm not gonna ask no questions. He doesn't seem to me to be a highly educated man. Looking shit up on Google, sir, is not an education. This is not the University of YouTube. Fucking weirdo. Also, why are you talking out of school about somebody else's business when there is no way you know what the fuck you talking about? But I'll let it go.
Yeah, so oops, hey kitty. Patty's business partner went on the Breakfast Club and he said none of that is true. He said none of that is true. Walmart did approach Patty Labelle for a partnership, but it's basically a situation where the pies are provided by a particular company. The way he explained it is that it's not a situation where Walmart hired Patty to just be the face of a pie that they created. You know, a lot of times companies will hire somebody to be the face of a brand, and he was saying that's just not how it happened. He was like, and she makes more than 10%. Basically, the way he was explaining it was, he was saying that Master P doesn't know what he's talking about because that's not how the deal works. It's not a thing where the pies sell and Patty gets 10%. She gets a bigger cut because of how the pies get to Walmart, where they're placed in the store. And also remember, everybody do your due diligence. Patty sells way more than pies. She just released a pancake mix, I think. So the guy was basically saying that Master P don't know what the fuck he's talking about. No, go ahead.
No, please.
No, I will tell you though, I clown them fucking rap snacks for years. For any OGs on the show, on any OGs in the chat, do y'all remember when I brought the bag and showed y'all?
Yeah, y'all almost had me wanting to try some.
Man, it's one.
I hear it's delicious.
I don't know if it's Young Dolph. I forget which rapper is associated with it, but those are the best potato chips I've ever had in my entire life. They're basically everything chips. So they got hot, salt and sour, dill, sour cream. It's everything mixed together. And you know niggas love intense flavor seasoning. They are doused in seasoning. But the biggest flavor that you can detect is the salt and sour. The garlic isn't overwhelming. They taste amazing. So I'm gonna give him that. That's all I can give the nigga. Apparently, he is trying to compete with Patty with some sort of bakery type product. And that is why a lot of people are inferring that is where the shade is coming from. It's a business tactic that he's using to try and put some shine on the product that he's about to try and sell. So I don't know.
Hey, listen. In regards to P, I said what I said, and that's all I got to say.
What they got, man, what they have is, and he did, the brother that was on that did do the explaining from what from what we watched.
Uh-huh.
On the Breakfast, he did it on the Breakfast Club, which I have never seen anything except clips from. I've never watched it before because I don't have a lot of connectivity with Charlamagne's steez. But what he did is basically just a wholesale deal. It's basically just she made a product, they heard about it, and they was like, we know how you can get a bunch more doors selling it, and contacted them. So all she does is sell the pies to Walmart like any other product that's made by any other person. And she makes a lot more money because they move a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's not a licensed name deal. It's not she's the sponsor or spokesperson. She has a brand. They liked it, and they now sell a lot of her other stuff from that brand.
They do.
And make a gang of money on it. Master P was talking about how she's in the front of the store and not in the back because it's their product. The brother on the show was like, no, she's in the front of the store because the bakeries are in the front of the store at every Walmart, and we're in the bakery. We are, by the way, Master P, at the back of the bakery.
Yeah.
Which is strategic for them because people come looking for the pies and have to walk on. I'm only doing all this explaining because it was interesting to me because
I'm glad you watched it because, like I said, I was working on bells and whistles this week, so I just skimmed everything. So I'm glad you did.
I've never been in a Walmart and will never step foot in a Walmart.
Oh,
I'm just like that. I'm
got
a
interesting.
Scorpio, and I just like to hold grudges and stick to my guns about shit. It's just the way I am.
Okay.
But it was good for me to hear all this. So he's like, we're in the back. It makes people walk past us to grab other shit. Like they might grab some cookies from any old brand of shit because they're walking looking for our brand of stuff. But he's like, we sell a gang of shit in there. It's not just baked goods. We sell our mac and cheese in there. It's one of the biggest sellers in their store thing. So
yeah, she do make mac and cheese. I wasn't crazy about the mac and cheese because my mama's mac and cheese is the best to me. But my mother don't make a lot. She don't do the sweet potato pies too often. Patty's sweet potato pie was good when I had it. I've had it a couple times. But it does sound a lot like the strategy is similar to how Best Buy used to have the CDs in the front. They would lose money on the CDs, but they got your ass in the store, and you'd say, "Oh, I think I need a new refrigerator. Or my TV is going out." It was a tactic. So yeah,
that's why that's the only place you can buy CDs today is at Best Buy. In real life, if you want to buy a CD in real life, bro, you ain't online. You got to go to Best Buy.
Well, even also, now, y'all know vinyl outsells CDs now.
Yeah, by a shop.
Yeah, because it's a novelty thing.
Is Patty the one everybody was mad at about her concert recently?
No,
that was Anita.
That was Anita Baker.
Okay, good. I was like, as we layering shit now, I want to.
Hey, but check this out though. Check this out. I saw a video. Speaking of Anita Baker, I saw a video. What's his name? Tony Terry.
Man, I was just talking about Tony Terry the other day.
So he spoke about how when he put out that song "When I'm With You," how his label felt like it was more of a Stevie Wonder type song, and they really didn't want him to put it out, right? So it got to a point where they put it out and it did well. He got a phone call from Anita Baker. Anita Baker was telling him, and he was like he thought it was a joke. So he's like, yo, it's actually Anita Baker. I'm on the phone with her. She's talking to me, telling me she loves the song, asking why there's no music video for it. And I tell him the label doesn't really believe in it, so they're not getting behind it. He said she cut him a check for $50,000 and said, go shoot the video.
Wow. So she ain't full of shit all the time, I guess is what you're saying. She does have some redeeming qualities.
And this was out his mouth.
Wow. Wow.
I like that. Because I know that the only thing I saw online about Anita Baker recently was how you could slow some songs down and turn her into Michael McDonald.
Wait, say it again. Do what?
If you take some of her songs and slow it down a couple of pitches, the voice it sounds like Michael McDonald doing a cover of her stuff.
Wow.
Apparently their style is so similar of how the breath he's singing that you literally slow it down just by a couple of BPM and it sounds like Michael McDonald. And it's true. You do it a bunch of times.
Definitely true. I'm a big Michael McDonald fan. I saw him at me and my mom, I took her to see him and the Doobie Brothers at the YouTube Live Theater last year.
I've been a big Michael McDonald fan ever since they was on What's Happening. No message. You don't know me, but I'll know.
Well, the funniest part is when the Doobie Brothers are sitting there explaining what the pirates do. They were like, yeah, they love to make these unofficial recordings of our concerts. They usually pick a dumb fat kid and Rerun is standing there with the recording device under the trench coat.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch some of that shit, man.
Yeah.
Some of it be hard to watch, but that shit was classic.
No, that was funny. I forgot about that.
Classic fucking episode. Okay, let's see.
Real quick. So one time, Layla Hathaway was she was performing at Club Nokia, and I forgot who all came through, but guests come through, pop up, right? So I'm standing backstage, right? And all of a sudden I see this lady standing to me. She looked a little disheveled, right?
Yeah, where this going?
Yo, I looked and I was like, damn. I was like, it's Anita Baker. So here's what's funny though.
Not disheveled, nigga. Not disheveled.
Oh yeah. But here's what's funny. Here's what's funny. So people, and see, I actually snuck and took a picture. So I don't know where the picture is. I got to find that picture. But it was like people started coming over when they saw it was her. Because she was like, she had on some jeans. She had on like the mom jeans, and a black turtleneck, and her hair was a little bit. And then she told him, she said she was at home, overslept, and completely overslept. So she just hopped up, grabbed whatever she had, put it on, and and she was just coming just to hang out. She wasn't coming to perform anything, but she was coming to hang out. And I swear that's exactly how she looked. Like she just snatched something and ran out the house.
Wow. She's one of my
hair was on her head like this.
She one of my favorites. I probably listen to her 10 times a week. I love how unique her style is in the sea of R&B that was available in the 80s. It's not electronic. It's just classy. It's almost like a Nancy Wilson type thing, but that unique voice, the instrumentation. I just love her music so much.
I think something that slept on for her, for somebody my age, that goes back before the 80s to the 70s, is the project with she and Nona Hendrix and them, the actual Labelle project. The band Labelle, which is like one of the earliest predecessors of what we now refer to as Afrofuturism in music. It was on almost some alternative black shit in 76, 77. Like, just think of her as a widespread. Oh, go ahead.
Anita was a part of that.
No, I'm talking about Patty. You talking about Anita?
Yeah, we talking about Anita right now.
Nigga, you got Patty's pies up there.
I know, but nigga, you know we go on tangents. You know we on tangents. Chavez brought us to Anita Baker. He brought up a disheveled woman at a Layla Hathaway concert. That's how
I thought Patty was the disheveled woman. Shit, I don't know.
No, it was Anita Baker.
All right, go. I'm ready to go. People in the thing talk about Napster and LimeWire. I'm reading, listening. Fuck me. I ain't
my God.
But furthermore, Karen, I don't know, Karen, when Napster was out, and this is something I think that maybe you and I, Antoine, mentioned before in a different way. When Napster was out, this is early internet days. I'm a music fanatic of all sorts. Napster made so much money off of me. The industry thought that they were going broke. I would just find a band because I saw it on Napster and you couldn't find all the songs. And then be like, oh, this dude likes 4 or 5 different bands that I like. All right, cool. I'm going to go on LimeWire too. I would go into his collection and find shit, and it would lead me to go into Amoeba to buy the shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was buying things because of what I was finding on Napster. It was almost like free market. It was like hearing things on the radio. And I mean, I spent thousands like, oh, these guys did 3 different remixes for Bjork. What are they called? Plaid? Oh, their whole album ain't here? Let me go to Amoeba and get the album. Like, they fucked up trying to fight down what they didn't understand and couldn't figure out a way to dig into.
Well, you was different from me because I stole everything. I ain't go buy shit. I ain't buy no more CDs after the motherfuckers were available on LimeWire. I'm like, whoa, are you kidding me? And it was crazy because it was a lot of material that was floating around that would get leaked. So I remember Britney Spears' Blackout album is one of my favorite albums. But I remember it leaked, and the version of the songs on that album are the leaked one. It's different from the final version. So was Fiona Apple's Extraordinary Machine album. It's completely different from the one that was released. So yeah, I used to love getting all those alternate versions from the file sharing services. That was my jam.
Because I think the one thing that I did get from there that I would love to find somewhere on something else is that second Bilal album that never came out. Love for Sale.
Yeah.
Bro, that album. Woo!
Well,
I'm sorry. Anyway, you got distracted. I was just reading things.
Q-Tip's album that got shelved, I got it off of there. It was Kamal the Abstract.
Yeah.
It's one where he's singing. Oh yeah, that album was never officially released. That was shelved. That never came out.
Oh, so see, then that's another one I stole and didn't go buy because I have that. You guys, we mentioned Isaac Hayes. Did anybody that's in here just really quickly watch that Stats documentary, Stats Records documentary?
No, I meant to check it out though.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking it out. I heard them talk about it on Press Play with Madeline Brand. She did an interview. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
I'm going to check it out. Somebody mentioned it today to us because is anybody here enough from LA that you know who Al Jackson is? DJ Al Jackson.
Of course.
Juju.
So
they got did a club here in LA called Juju for years, but he was definitely like part of the backbone of our scene here for black stuff since the late 80s. But
Jason, did you ever see the article of some years ago? The article where he was in the LA Times.
Yeah, I'm quoted in it like an idiot because I didn't know what they were asking me for. But yeah, no, his daddy was in Booker T and the MGs though, so his daddy's in the thing. That's why I was making it up. Yeah, his daddy was the drummer for Booker T and the MGs.
Wow.
I'm gonna shut up. In case you didn't see it and I ain't seen it yet, let's all watch it. Stat Records.
Chavez, when is Solnick this year?
It'll be so we have the Solnick Live event on the 8th. We're right now finalizing everything.
The 8th of
Solnick. You said what?
June.
The 8th of June.
So we're doing a Solnick Live event at Grand Performances with Tortured Soul.
Okay.
But we had to push back because we wanted to find another venue. So we're pushing back from June of this year to August, and we're just finalizing the date right now in August. So it'll be in August.
Okay, cool.
And where are you doing it?
And the word should get out sometime this week. I mean, not this week, but next week.
Okay. Are you doing Hanson Dam?
No, that's the thing. We wanted to find another location, man, because I mean, it's just,
We'll talk offline. I'm sorry. Go.
No shit. I started it. I was curious.
No, we all do some of the same stuff, Shabazz and I. That's why I was surprised I didn't see him. I was like, where you been, bro? I've been out.
Man.
So I wasn't really familiar with this guy, Byron Donalds. Crescent actually sent me this. So poor Abby Phillips. I'm gonna try and find the link here. Abby Phillips had a black Republican on her show, and he showed his ass. Let me see here. Here he is. Let me pull this back. Okay. Gonna play a little clip, and you guys do with it what you will. Just a second here.
Opportunity to walk away from that mistake and do better going forward. And so my story is indicative of that. But what we also have to do is make sure that adults are tried as adults. I was not tried.
If that was applied to you when you were 18 and when you were 21, you would have been facing jail time.
When I was 18 in Florida, they treated me like I was 18 as an adult who can sign a contract, who can go into the military, who can do so many other things, who could vote. They treated me as an adult. That's all we're saying to do in the District of Columbia.
I just want to note that when you were 21, you faced more charges again.
I did.
Also did not go to jail in Florida as well.
But hold on, let's be clear. I did serve 2 years of probation. I went through that process. I did have to go and have it adjudicated. I went through that process. I also, under Florida law, went and had it sealed. I went through that process. And then when all that stuff was done, I did also go get a job, become a standing member up in my community, served in my church, coach kids in basketball and football.
I think it's absolutely,
built a family. I did all those things as well.
I think
it is possible, but you cannot be lenient. There has to be laws on the books that hold people accountable.
Congressman, there's no question there was leniency available to you. That is why you have such an extraordinary story.
There is leniency in the law in so many other places, but what the DC
I don't say.
Hold on,
I don't
Abby,
say,
but you got to be consistent.
You cannot
what
be lenient
DC is doing is not about leniency and it's not about second chances. What DC is doing is this radical, progressive view of criminal justice, which is making communities less safe. That's what I oppose.
Why you go on that lady show and not let her talk? Why you go on that lady show and not let her talk?
Because that's the contemporary Republican way, is to just barrel over and through everything that anyone else thinks or has to say. So he had to go do that because that's how they get down. But I don't know. I've never heard of him before you sent me that.
Me neither.
I don't as much like who he. It's more that I don't like who he is than I don't care who he is. But it's a little of both. But I'm gonna like even to come on her show, regardless of how he was acting towards her, which we just saw with another black. We'll just call him a black that was on her show recently.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, it was like you're sitting there talking about the leniency that you received and how it should be gone, which reminds me of like all of these brown folks arguing that they're gonna vote for Trump because they want to stop immigration now that they mama and daddy got here and was able to raise them here.
I talk to him in my Uber all the time.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we gotta get rid of these wetbacks. I'm like, you are talking about your mother or your grandmother? Which one is it? Is it because it's one of those two? No, but I think even for him to talk about leniency and how I went through that process and I did that. I had to go to probation. So I went through the process of probation. So there was no leniency. Nigga, in one of the states y'all call way too progressive, liberal, libtard, I went my black ass to prison at 18, and it was my third time doing actual time in this state. I went through those processes, and I think the leniency that I did get was not having to do the term that I had earned with my bullshit, and doing exactly what he did, which is, that's not for me. I'm not built like this, nigga. I am lucky that I got out of prison this time, not pregnant with my pretty ass. I'm gonna have to find a better way to live. So I did what he did.
A mess.
I ain't been in jail since. I ain't talked to the police unless I called them. So it's like these people getting leniency. The whole thing of the justice system is not to just be strictly hardcore punitive. It is meant to rehabilitate people so that they can move on to correct themselves or be corrected by society. So fuck your black ass for all of this, because all of this prison shit we all know is very strong on the anti-black shit, period. So to me, you're Candy Coon Call Owens #3. You're Clarence Cell Uncle Thomas #2. Nigga, fuck you. And that's all. And that's as much as I know about him, and that's where I'm at with it. Sorry.
Real talk though. And just in knowing Jason, I really wish Jason would just be honest with us and tell us how he really feels, because all of this beating around the bush is absolutely unacceptable. What I will say is, brothers like that, have we learned nothing from OJ? That's all. Have we learned nothing from Orenthal Simpson?
It's just, I don't know what this means, but these types of people are starting to become more prominent. Their voices are being heard on larger platforms where it felt like they were more, again, outliers in the past. And now it's like it's tons and tons of them. And then you couple that with the fact that you could turn on MSNBC or CNN any given month and they doing a mini documentary on niggas who say they voting for Trump. It's something is happening, y'all. Something is happening.
Well, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. Being a Black American, I can understand people saying, let's burn it down. Because at the end of the day, 79th Street looked the same when Reagan was in office, when both Bushes was in office, when Clinton was in office, when Barack was in office. 79th and Marshfield by Ashland has looked exactly the same. So I can gather with Black people who are saying it doesn't make a difference, because if you think about it, these people, we've experienced that same, nothing really changing in our areas throughout all these different presidencies. I can get it. But as an American, I can say right now we are definitely in a dangerous time, because the disinformation is being spread.
Yes.
And the destabilization tactics that are being utilized is major. It is major beyond major.
I think like to what you were saying, Antoine, the amplification of their voices is being done really hardcore by what we consider the right wing in the country, and there's a number of reasons for it. One of them is that unfortunately, I'm spelling this Kenneegrows, but unfortunately, Negroes can often be led and misled by certain messages that trigger very real things that are real. So
True.
So a lot of people can't make the discernment between the two different dichotomies, I don't know what that word means. The two different things that Chavez just said is that he does realize, like a lot of these cats are running, things don't change for us under any of these mugs, which is why he's an independent and I'm a humanist. I don't even know if we have a party, but I don't consider myself a Democrat and have these conversations that I have
Me
often with you
neither.
guys for that reason.
Neither.
Because they don't change for us.
Nobody on this panel is a Democrat.
Right. No, I don't mean that. I'm just meaning
No.
like the blue no matter who stuff is hard for me as well. But I do agree 200% with what he's saying. It's like we're not in a time where I can have my highfalutin values and ideas and ideals. At the same time, the reason these voices are being pushed is because once somebody that takes their life advice or political advice from Ice Cube and Charlemagne the God hears that these guys are listen, like once somebody's like, oh, this nigga's smarter than me, I'm going with him. You can pull. I mean, we're seeing in the polls or hearing of what we're hearing in polls about how you're pulling great numbers of younger blacks, out of younger black men, very specifically, they're saying, out of that automatic, you can count on me voting pool. And part of it is because it speaks to real things. And that real thing is like nobody on any party has ever when we were kids, we were like, it doesn't matter who the fuck is president. That's going to be what it is. I got to get up in the morning and go. And as black folks in this country, that's largely been too true. And that includes under the guy we have from 2008 to 2012. Fact is, shit was the same for us. The water didn't get fixed in Flint. You know what I mean? We were getting overrun by gentrifiers. Nothing was changing or helping us, no matter what. I'm not saying he was supposed to be the president of black people. No. I'm just saying he was just the president. All the things that people do to shoot at him when they see me in a political conversation on any format. Oh, well, Obama didn't do any better. I'm like, it's funny to me that you would mention Obama. I don't give a fuck. Obama was another president, bro. You're not hitting me at the heart because you mentioned Obama. I know that. And I think
they love doing that.
Well, they have such a one-dimensional ideal of who we are and what we are that I believe it was Tony that just mentioned it. The brother that we just saw, who I had never heard of, was being bandied about as a potential House Speaker for the Republican side. That is because Republicans genuinely believe that if you put a Negro in front of Negroes, that's why they thought they were going to run Elder. That's why they thought they were going to run homeboy that died of COVID, is because they're like, oh, I know how we can get the black votes. Just put a black guy. They'll vote for. They don't know shit about any kind. Okay, go ahead. I've been talking too long. Go.
No, it's just terrible. It's just insulting to me that in order for you to engage with Black Americans, you have to use outliers that are not representative of the average African American. That says more about you than it says about us. It means you aren't willing to adjust your policy to speak to us. Rather than adjusting policy and legislation, you find niggers that will adjust who they are to fit your standard. And that's fucked up. That's why we have the Clarence Thomases and these different Tim Scotts, and it's just sad.
That's why we get so many times I get in this thing and they're like, well, look at what Candace is saying. She's saying some real shit. And I'm like, all that they do when they reach for Tim Scott and Candace Owens is they got somebody, and that nigga that had the cowboy hat, whatever that sheriff was or whatever, was like, they have found people that are willing to smudge a little bit of blackface on their white supremacist ideas and then make it be like, look, a black person saying it to your black ass, so it's true. And unfortunately, it does work on us, whatever small percentage of folks that it does work on.
Yeah.
And it's easy for white folks to believe because they want to believe their truths quick as possible. So like, look, that black woman said it, so it's true for you guys as well. And I don't know, man. So much of what's happening right now with getting Latin Americans and in like other people from foreign lands voting Republican is the anti-blackness is really their religion. and proximity politics of, if I agree with this shit, and this goes for a lot of niggas, if I agree with this shit and vote this way, I can get closer to what I consider to be the dominant culture. I can be part of that if I side with them on shit. And it's not gonna happen.
Aspirational politics, which, you know, typically doesn't end well for niggas. At any rate, speaking of God, it's I don't even know where to start with this one. So I'll just jump into it. Terrence Baby Wipes Howard was on Joe Rogan. So where do I start? Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna play a little. I'm not gonna play much of it. I just want to play a little bit from the beginning so that you guys can just get a little bit of an idea of what was happening here. I'm trying to think. Where did I have it at? Here it is. No, that's.
Look at that. It looked to me like Chavez is cocked and loaded. He's like, oh.
Yeah, let me. I thought I had it up here right now.
I didn't know.
Joe Rogan, Terrence Howard. Yeah, I got into an argument with a family member over this. I was told that I won't give a nigga a chance.
Hey, everybody else does, I don't think.
A lot of different things. Okay, so let me see here. Terrence, there we go. Okay.
Used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget. You go to sleep. You wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew I had a title for it. Go back to sleep, all of those things. Then ultimately you get ready to come out. I remember all of that.
You remember coming out?
Remember being compressed, and you want to panic, but you're flooded with like some serotonin and dopamine to where you feel relaxed. You go right back to sleep. You remember being born. I remember being circumcised. I remember the whole nine and the proof of it.
This nigga is certifiably fucking
Man,
insane.
Listen here. I'm about to walk off right now like LeBron that time when he grabbed his suitcase. I am literally about to walk off right now.
I can't.
I'm about to pull out Viola Davis gift.
Yes, pick your purse up and leave with your best wig on. He sat there because people were joking in the comments. They were like, I can't believe that Joe Rogan allowed himself to be interviewed by Terrence Howard, because Joe did not talk this whole interview. He interjected like every 15 minutes. And I have had friends in the past that have been schizophrenic. And this is almost identical to what I've experienced in their presence when they're having an episode. They're rambling. They're not making the most sense. This almost feels like a control version of it, because he's not off the deep end. Like, what he's saying, you can understand why it would make logical sense to someone, but to a practical-minded person, he sounds fucking crazy. But I'm sorry. Go, Jason, go ahead.
No, I often, like, I get into conversations about different things, whatever they are. I like to argue and shit, whatever, pontificate. And I sometimes end up landing on the trifecta. The trifecta is this: sometimes people will say something to you where you think they are absolutely, no matter what, either one of three things or a combination thereof. They are either lying, they're crazy, or they're stupid, think you're stupid. This nigga's all three. Nigga, you crazy as fuck with these lies because you think everybody's stupid. Nigga, shut the fuck. So, long time ago, when I was a rapper, I lived in a building that this nigga lived in across the hall. Did not know him. Never heard of him. Never know nothing. We would see him at clubs now and then, whatever. This was when like Jamaica House was open here in LA or whatever.
Okay.
One night we had some young ladies come by our little place where there was, I think, 4 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
We had met them at the disco. They were coming by. This nigga, mind you, I've done a few commercials, Terrence Howard. This is not Crash, Terrence. This is Green Eye.
Flow.
No, this is pre all
This is
that
pre
shit.
all of it.
This is before. This is pre-Maine, right?
Pre-Maine.
Whipping tricks.
This nigga standing in the doorway of his apartment across the hall from us in an open road in his boxers, trying to talk these young ladies from our front door into coming into his apartment to have a drink while we ain't home yet, nigga. We're in the house about to open the door. I don't know why that stuck with me, but I've hated this nigga ever since. Now, for him to come in, we had, my second run in him had to do with this Marvel shit and how he was like, yeah, and I gave the job to Robert Downey Jr. They didn't want to. I gave them $1 million of my money so that he could be bonded because of his drug problems, and I got him in there, and he didn't return the nigga. That is a lie that is so stupid that you got to be crazy. You got the whole trifecta. What the fuck are you talking about? Now when you listen to what this nigga's saying, I remember being born. I remember being not born yet.
Yo,
boy, I swear. So I honestly feel like something broke in him, and he's not faking it. He is, like you said, he's got a chemical. He's like what do they call
imbalance?
That nigga's become an extra chromie homie. That nigga got an extra chromosome in there. Something's popping.
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Let me tell you, like that right there. That just gave me all types of life to hear this brother, like literally go. I mean, he was in the room. And his friend was his hand, you know what I'm saying? Coming out, the serotonin and all that good stuff. Hey, I want to watch that video now. I want to watch it again.
I won't watch Joe Rogan no matter who's on there, but I can't Joe Rogan, bro. I can't with this.
It's bad.
But I think that, like, I was speaking to somebody that we all kind of know, and he was like, yeah, you seen this Terrence Howard thing? And it's someone that I know, love, and respect and admire as probably one of the smartest people I know in my life. I was like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, I was talking to him about this shit, man. And, man, he sounds a little crazy, man, but he's not offline. Some of the shit, he's got the patents and shit. I'm like, nigga, you know that I could literally, I think sit my bony naked ass on a Xerox machine and call my asshole a fucking organic black hole that I've created, and I could patent that because you can pay to patent anything.
Anything.
They don't check shit. They don't give a fuck. You got the patent, nigga. Your asshole is a black hole. You got it. Done. Nigga, you can have all the you can buy 1 million motherfucking URLs and never have a website, nigga. You can do whatever you want. This nigga's stupid.
Jason, I had the exact same argument with a family member a couple nights ago because I'm the Lisa Simpson in my family. So I stand on business when it comes to what I believe in. I don't try and, I'm not a Christian, but I don't shit on Christians. I understand the value in it. And part of my moral foundation is connected to that. But, I was told, hey man, did you see the Terrence Howard thing on Joe Rogan? I was like, no, I don't need to see that. Nigga, you ain't even gonna give him a chance? I said, he's a liar. He might beat women. I'm not sure of that one. He's been accused by one of his ex-wives of doing that. And I said he lies about the degrees that he has. He rambles. The baby wipes thing, just everything, right? So I'm forced to sit here and watch him during this interview, right before the segment that we saw. And I'm watching and I was like, after about 6 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to hear anymore. And I was told, you only listened to him for 5 minutes. I said, he talked nonstop for 5 minutes about absolutely nothing. That's what he does. I'm like, he's trying to explain that he has a concept of time while he's in a womb. How do you have a concept of time? You knew you were in there for 6 months. You're coming up with names before you even know what a language is? Like, you don't remember this. The thing that was crazy was when he started, if y'all can believe this, I got into an argument about, because Terrence Howard believes, he wrote a paper where he said he has proven that 1 × 1 = 2. So I'm sitting here listening to somebody tell me, I understand what he means by that. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you believe. Math is math. 1 × 1 = 1. And this person literally pulled out an object and said, the energy in this, if you multiply it times something, how can you only end up with this? And I'm explaining, I'm like, numbers are not tangible. It's a set of instructions. 1 × 1 means you take the number 1, you write it down 1 time, you add it up. There's nothing to add, so you have 1. 1 × 3 means you write the number 1 down 3 times, you add it up, and you end up with 3. Conversely, 3 × 1 means you write the number 3 down 1 time, and it's 3. It's not tangible. There's no fucking energy involved. Our whole system would fall apart if 1 × 1 didn't equal 1. If 1 × 1 = 2, what the fuck does 2 × 1 equal? The fact that I'm sitting here having these arguments with niggas, I'm starting to question my own sanity. And this is what I don't like, is that people like him can influence people who don't know any better and have them running around preaching this fucking ridiculous gospel of stupidity because he's charismatic. He looks unhinged on there to me. It's something in his eyes, man, that's off. Something in that nigga's eyes is off.
Oh no, why does Antoine look scared though?
Because people listen. People listen to him. And again, like what you were talking about with the patents, the same argument, you know, but what about the patents though? And I was like, yeah, he's pointing to his patents have been cited. That doesn't mean that someone used them. There's a legal strategy that involves citing patents. And, you know, then it was argued, well, I think Microsoft and all these other corporations stole his idea for incorporating virtual reality into reality. And I'm like, I cannot believe I'm having these discussions based on something that Terrence Howard has said. It's wild.
You know what?
I don't think Terrence Howard could make a fully functioning paper airplane.
I think real quick, I think just off of this episode alone, I think Terrence Howard came together with Master P. They came up with their strategy, and then they used them independently of each other. I feel like that's, yeah.
Is it a God complex? I mean, because the thing I don't like about it is putting a microphone into the face of somebody who is unwell, to me, is disgusting. Yeah. And he just seems unwell to me. He looks healthy, but that don't mean you're healthy in your mind.
If you want an analogy, a couple of analogies stacked on top of each other. We have the same cats in a lot of forums and stuff that I'm in, claiming that this dude is a genius, that are the same people that have been trying to tell me that Kanye is a genius for the past 4 years. And so they're going to follow him politically and ideologically and everything because he's a genius. Terrence Howard is a very good actor.
He is.
Honestly, a very good actor, especially when he gets to act out parts of his own personality, which are kind of a creepy nigga. You know what I mean? The creepy nigga, he plays well because that's kind of who he is. Yes. A slimy kind of scumbag nigga that don't treat his wife right. Like, he's good at that. And then like that watery eye thing that he does where I'm about to cry. How dare you talk to me like that? Why?
Wait a minute. Column said he had such an open mind, his brain fell out. I'm sorry, continue.
For sure though, nigga. I honestly think the same thing about what you just said that I think about Kanye, is that if anyone is paying any attention or making any sense, they know that this person is not in control of in proper control of their faculty.
Yes.
This dude is lit up. I don't know how many of you guys are as old as me, but did y'all all watch In Living Color and remember that nigga with the kufi that used to be in there just making up words in prison? And he was like, the dichotomy on the my own spinactyl pterodactyl means that literally this is the same thing. Literally, there are words that he says that don't mean what he clearly thinks they mean.
He was talking about elements and he said he said these elements are bisexual. He started talking about colors as far as elements and frequencies. I'm like, nigga, elements are determined by the number of protons in their fucking nucleus. It ain't got shit to do with frequency and colors. It ain't got shit to do with none of that.
And when he says frequency, he overlaps frequencies in sound with frequencies of occurrence. Like, this nigga is absolutely just sitting up on TV, nigga, using every word he can think of in no specific order, and you got Negroes calling this nigga a G. It's heartbreaking because it's terrifying, because if people are this fucking stupid to believe somebody this fucking stupid, our world is in more trouble than we thought.
I just wish people who, the person who I got into an argument with has no science background. I went to college for physics and engineering. 3 semesters of physics, 2 semesters of calculus. You would think that they would listen to my assessment knowing that they don't have the background to even understand what this man is talking about on any level. It doesn't make the other person stupid. It just means that when it comes to this isn't in your wheelhouse. And that's what's just frustrating, is that niggas love to appear to know something about everything when none of us know something about everything. Look, how many times do I get on here and tell y'all, as soon as you motherfuckers start, as soon as something comes up about sports, you are speaking Mandarin Chinese to me. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm not going to try and talk to you about that. But yeah, it's unfortunate because, you know, the word energy always comes up. When niggas don't know what they talking about, the word energy is used in these broad, abstract fucking ideas. And you like, yeah, you're not saying anything. You don't understand this concept.
Yeah, because first you talk about energy in motion, then you talk about as a vibe. You mix in the word like energy. You know, I like the and I won't talk to. Anyway, I'll say this: it's shameful that they're doing this because it's exploitive.
Yeah,
like for real. Like that, Joe Rogan ain't the smartest man in the world, but he knows goddamn well that Terrence is in trouble of some sort.
You know,
anyone from here on out that would put them on his show is just doubling down on that.
Yeah,
you know, and because you'll remember, I think he was on like a few years back. He was on some red carpet somewhere, just talking the most insane shit. Where they were looking at him like he was out of his fucking.
The actress tried to save him. She changed topics so that, because she could tell, she I think in her mind, she's like, this person is having a mental breakdown on camera. He's a great actor. Let me help him, give him an out. She gave him the out, and that nigga went right back to what he was talking about. Talking about teriology and how he's going to build the planet Saturn without using gravity and only using electricity. Where is the straitjacket?
I think, something broke. I think, and I don't remember this happening.
Anytime you're an artist, the danger of being an artist is that you're completely open to whatever can come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people are kind of closed off, which is why most people aren't artists. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are rigid, but artists literally, like, you know, like Kanye, literally create from no thing. They create something.
Right.
And with that being said, you kind of got to be out there in order to even come up with that, to conceptualize that. You have to
get that. I get that.
Every artist that you really love and admire, something's a little wrong with that nigga, no matter who it is. And when you look under the surface, there isn't an artist that is so creative and dope that you love that there's not something the matter. I don't know if that has to do with how much they love to cuddle with children and drink Jesus juice. I don't know if that's how they're going to change their name to a non-verbal sign that you can use for the next couple of years because of their and these are some of the best people in the world. There's something weird in there, and there has to be that creative At the same time, though, like, I don't remember him being like this. I remember him being weird, but I don't remember him being crazy until that nigga got kicked out of Iron Man 2. He went nuts. That nigga lost his whole shit.
He did, but I mean, because apparently, you lose your mind too if you had the opportunity to be one of the OGs from the inception of the MCU and you fucked that up. I mean, because look, I'm pretty sure this happened before that, but y'all could tell us in the chat. But I knew shit wasn't right when they cast this motherfucker as Nelson Mandela and Jennifer Hudson as Winnie Mandela. Did y'all ever see that movie?
I did not. Thank
that happened. No, I forgot about that.
That actually happened.
And
that actually happened. Kind of like Will Smith playing an African doctor. I don't know.
Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone, like that.
Yes.
Kind of shit.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Terrence,
I can tell you what's wrong with them.
What's wrong?
I had this argument about Nina Simone, and we probably talked about it on the show, but I was never a host back then, and people were mad at me in the comments. The industry that he works in, they don't give a fuck what you look like, and we all look the same to the people that make those decisions. Who is black, that has done something big that will make them draw names to this thing? It's all a big fake math equation. Zoe Saldana got Nina Simone because she had been in Avatar. So she's at the time the one black person that's been in one of the biggest selling movies. So that's going to, according to them, and it works very often when you get people like Vin Diesel becoming stars and shit. So the same thing with him. They're like, oh, he had just done this pimp movie where he's the biggest thing ever. That's literally how he ended up being in Iron Man, is because they wanted young black folks. They knew in their hearts, black people don't read comic books. That was their thought. We're going to get the black guy to play this black part that they all love. And it's this pimp rapper from this movie that just did so well.
Yeah.
And that's how, when he came up free and available, when it was time to do Nelson Mandela, they're like, oh, we found us a black. And that's how that happens.
Sometimes, I want to say what's up. It says Janabamat? Janaba. Welcome.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing you here before. I could be wrong.
That's
It's what?
Is it?
That's Serena.
She got enough names. Tell her I said hello.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Here's what I will say. Sometimes we have to practice discernment. If somebody comes up to my high yellow ass and says, we hear you saying all the time that you more African than anything else, would you like to play Nelson Mandela in a film? I would say, I'm flattered that you are fucking stupid enough to think that I could pull that off, but I'm politely going to decline because I have personal integrity and I know what I'm capable of pulling off, and you're crazy for even thinking that. That's what that nigga should have told them. That is a failure.
Look, that would be like Antoine. That would be like Antoine playing Jack Johnson in Unforgivable Blackness.
Right. Just don't. Certain roles, unfortunately, are color coded. Nina Simone's personhood, her music, the songs that she sang, the way that people treated her as a woman was informed by her broad nose, her dark skin, and her 4C hair. You can't separate the two. Now, if somebody walks around saying, Raven Simone said she's not African-American, she's American, maybe she could pull that off. But Nina Simone can, and a lot of these Nelson Mandela to me, no, I think they even gave Terrence some brown contact lenses to try and make him look.
Listen,
I just don't.
They did put blackface on Zoe. We remember that.
They did.
And the prosthetic nose.
So they tried to black it up a little, as we like to say. But you mentioned someone with personal integrity, blah, 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 blah. Again, I do not know Terrence Howard. He does not strike me, especially now, as someone with a great deal of personal integrity.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay, I think we've given him enough energy.
Sorry, okay.
Oh, it's not
I
your
wish him
fault.
luck, though.
It's
I would be praying for him if I was thoughts and prayers and tots and pears to this nigga.
yeah, something.
Tots and pears.
Straight jackets and bars. So this isn't new, but my sister used to tell me this all the time, that JLo apparently she's been clowned for some time because she really can't speak Spanish. I didn't know this. I had no idea. I'm gonna try and pull up the video for you because she was on one of, I guess this is let me see, JLo 1. Let me pull it up here. All right. So JLo. Let me refresh this.
Oh, she looks great. Oh, never mind.
Okay, there we go.
Impactante de mi vida. Para hacer ese rol en ese momento, tenía 25 años y yo era 25 cuando hice el papel de Selena. And it just, for me,
She just gave up.
set me on a course to understand what my life was going to be like, because she was so young and handled it with that fame and her talent with so much grace and so much laughter that it really taught me.
Actually, I'm gonna go back to the beginning because that's the most important part.
Lindos más, oh God, how would I say it? Impactante de mi vida.
So she's basically explaining the impact that playing Selena had on her life as an actress and a singer. She just really, she felt like that role gave her a lot of insight about the industry and what she wanted to do with her career in a way that she wouldn't have been able to. She wouldn't have gotten that inside knowledge without portraying Selena. So, at any rate, that was her struggling. That was her struggling through an interview in Spanish, and you see, she gave up and just started talking in English towards the end, right?
Man,
So-
listen, let me tell you something. She speaks Spanish about as good as me. And
Yeah,
I'm not. And the only thing that's Latin about me is my name.
Yes. I honestly think I could have pulled off what she did in that interview, because I don't like to tell people that I can speak any Spanish. But when I was in college, I tested out a first semester Spanish. They put me right into semester 2 because I did really well in high school in Spanish. But I don't like to tell people I can speak any of it because they talk too fast.
I think there's a I'll just say, first of all, there's a lot of shame to being a Latin person, even or maybe especially as an Afro Latino that does not.
No, go ahead.
Holy
I'm
shit.
sorry.
That,
No, go ahead.
that does not speak Spanish.
Right.
And you get a lot of disdain and a lot of judgment from other Latinos if you do not speak Spanish. And she does a lot of things here and there to live as a white woman and yet proclaim herself a Latino and representative of and part of that culture a lot. And she catches a lot of shots, like we would be shooting at maybe a Candy Owens, but not that extreme. But you know what I
Right.
mean? So I think what she might have been trying to do was connect and broaden and slow those shots. But no, for real, I am Jenny from the block, because and it sounds to me, I have not tried to speak Spanish since my grandmother moved back to Mexico when I was little. I don't think she has spoken Spanish with any regularity, even when she was married to the other Puerto Rican cat, since her grandmother was her babysitter back in the day. She sounds a lot like a younger kid trying to whatever, but I understand why she was trying to do it, but I don't think I think it was ill-advised. And I'm glad she gave up, because it is embarrassing, and it's embarrassing, and it's actually, I'll tell you the truth, man, it's shame. You feel ashamed that you know.
But I guess for me, the thing about it is, it's like, to me, I'm like, just own it, because I Because a lot of Latinas confuse me because I still to this day don't know if Christina Aguilera actually speaks Spanish or not. She has a whole Spanish album. She's been embracing the culture a lot. She's been working with a lot of Latin artists. But I just don't know. But JLo does a lot of, she says she speaks a lot. She does Spanglish in a lot of her songs, which I guess is technically another vernacular, if you will.
Listen, if I was her,
She
I
also
would've
doesn't
just
write
put
those
out-
songs, so those songs are written and taught to her bit by bit. Nobody knows how many
That's
takes
true.
that it takes. But go ahead. What were you saying, Chappelle? I'm sorry.
No, I would have just pulled out. I would have low key had my phone up under the table. I would have pulled out like I'd had Google Translator on, and I would have just been like literally. I'd have been mouthing as the translator was speaking. Though
I mean, it would have been better than what she was trying to do because she was
Right,
struggling.
that new AI thing that you showed us, Antoine. Didn't you show us that new AI thing that translates in real time?
Chat GPT 4.0.
Yeah,
it'll do it
That
in
would've
real
been me.
time.
They could have just changed my name to Chat GPT 4.0 for the night.
Yeah.
And pronounce it Chat GPT 4.0. I would have been good with that.
That's what the fuck JLo need to do. But hey, y'all, we gonna see we're gonna see Benito speak Spanish, and here we go.
Todo esto es mierda, es una película de mierda, no lo creo.
The internet is losing it over Ben Affleck's Spanish-speaking skills. The actor is going viral for a new interview where he speaks the language fluently for nearly 2 minutes straight. It was posted on April 3rd by Cadena Ser, a Spanish radio station, and quickly spread across the internet, racking up millions of views. In the clip, Ben is explaining why Michael Jordan won't appear in his new film Air.
No es la historia de Michael Jordan. Y también Michael Jordan no se aparece en la película. Es tan grande, es tan importante, es tan magnífico. No hay un actor en el mundo que la audiencia puede creer. Cuando yo digo, mira, es Michael Jordan, van a creerlo. Inmediatamente van a pensar, todo esto es mierda, es una película de mierda.
This nigga got the matter. He is culturally Latin when you watch this shit.
Let me tell you something. Ben is about to leave JLo because her Spanish is inferior. I'm telling you right now. You remember on the Chappelle show when Clayton Bigsby at the very end they asked him why did he leave his wife? Like Ben is about to leave JLo because her Spanish is like subpar.
See, Tony just told the truth of my life too. It's the same thing. Like I'm like, that's how I started out speaking too. But I think with Ben, it's like you remember when you was in middle school and one of your boys called you a pussy and you was like, nigga, you are what you eat. I think that Ben can equate that to Spanish because he clearly likes to. He's like, I need to know how to speak this shit, nigga.
But you know what?
He's been friends with. He's like, I need to know what's cracking.
He did explain because I didn't want to. I don't want to get all that shit yanked down. He did explain how it happened. So when he was a kid, his parents would have him watch this Spanish kids show, and he really liked the show. So he started picking up Spanish. And then at some point, his family went to, I don't know if it was his family, but he went to Mexico and he lived there for a full year. So he had that background watching that show. I think he had taken Spanish. And he said when he went to Mexico and he came back, he was fluent. And I guess his daughter speaks it too. His daughter with Jennifer Garner, I think they have more than one child, but I think he has at least one daughter with her.
Oh, well, and you already know they be side eyeing JLo. Him and his daughter together, side eyeing. They be giving her the evil side eye.
They be doing hey, Chavez. They be doing worse than side eyeing her. They be talking shit about her in front of her face in Spanish.
I was about to say that.
Like this dumb bitch don't even know where she is. Right, bitch, don't order a taco. You can't even say it. Don't order it.
Yeah, Tony clarified. Told y'all this was my best day for research. But yeah, when he was 13, he filmed a children's TV show in Mexico. He learned to speak Spanish during a year spent traveling around the country with his mother and his brother. So yeah, JLo keeps him with her taco flavored kisses. Y'all, man. Yeah, but the thing here's what I was blown away by when watching him. it's one thing to watch a non-Latino person speak Spanish. He has the mannerisms and even the voice it's dramatic.
The inflection. The
Yes.
inflection and intonations, like, no, he's speaking Spanish in the way that the dudes that talk shit about me when they come to clean up talk.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing it right.
And it was hilarious when he said, El Mundo, Michael Jordan, in a when he would jump back and forth between. So,
he hit us with the también. You know what I'm saying? También.
Yes.
The extra
killed that
sauce.
shit.
I wish, man. I think, like, you ever see one of those things where they ask you what would be your superpower if you could develop a superpower?
Yes.
And just like a weird thing, I always in my life have always wished that one thing I had as a superpower was the ability to read, write, and speak any language on sight.
Wouldn't that be
like
amazing?
not have to learn. Like that would be my superpower. I feel like I would be so happy on this planet, and I would see this whole planet if I could just. And there are people that pick up languages like.
There are.
I wish I could do that, man. I can't even. I'm struggling with English, but I wish that would be my superpower.
Well, Babbel has that special this month.
Nigga, I'm
For
babbling
real.
up in English, nigga. I'm babbling now. What the fuck you talking about?
Babbel has a special. They run it every couple months where I think you pay. It's either $200 or $300, and you can learn any language in their library for a lifetime. You don't have to pay the monthly fee. I'm thinking about doing it at some point. I know enough Spanish where if I studied it consistently, I would be fluent within a year. I just need to sit down and do it.
If you live in America, and specifically if you live in, let's call it Los Angeles, California of America, you should learn to speak. I won't say should, because that's a terrible thing. It would be dope to learn to speak very good Spanish just to get around in the world that we're in, and also to kind of, for me, like destroy some of these walls that the third party is building between Black and brown folks, and build some bridges, because that is going to be necessary moving forward, no matter what happens or don't happen come this November or November 4 years from now. Like, we are going to have to find ways to eradicate a bunch of homophobia out of the Black community, out of the brown community. We're gonna have to stop these fucking Mexicans from brothers. We're gonna have to stop like that shit. We all gotta side up, bro, because they're on us. They're on us.
Yeah.
So I would love to learn to speak Spanish more, like, fluently.
I'm gonna do it one of these days. Next up, we almost done, people.
Sorry, guys.
Next up is we gotta talk about Gayle King. Gail is out of fucking control right now. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to her in the news cycle, but for some reason, Gail is in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. I don't know how that happened. I'm not clowning her for it. She looks pretty good for her age. I just wonder how that conversation was had, how she ended up in there. So
Gail is in heat. Gail is in heat.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like, that menopause is a hell of a drug too. You're like, nigga, let me use what I got left. God damn, I got something left. Let me use it.
Well, for a lot of women, when they go through menopause, people think that it turns off sex drive. For some women, that is not what happened. It's the exact opposite. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you the little clip that's been going viral with Gail's old.
Wait. You're not gonna show me Gail in a swimsuit.
I am not going to do that.
Oh, I was about to avert my eyes and like, avert your eyes, mate. Look away.
I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna.
He said, "Look away."
We're gonna see.
Do you have a significant other in your life? And can I beat her ass if she is? Oops, did I say that out loud? No.
So I'm gonna rewind that.
Do you have a significant other in your life? And can I beat her ass if she is? Oops, did I say that out loud? No. Do you have and I'm nonviolent, Lenny Kravitz. But do you have a partner? Do you have love in your life?
Right now, I'm just open.
Are you even looking?
It's hard not to look. When you desire something, you're looking for it, right?
Oh, hot ass.
That
was unexpected.
Can I say something from the straight side of the table?
Yes.
With me? That nigga's beautiful. Like,
He
god damn,
is.
nigga, you just turned 60 today. Today's his 60th birthday or yesterday.
He's
I'm
gorgeous.
like, bro, if you don't stop working out and eating right, nigga, I'm gonna fucking assassinate your black ass, nigga. I'm sick of you. I've been sick of you since high school. Pretty motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a specimen.
Am I supposed to say no Diddy or no? What am I supposed?
Dang. No Diddy, no Kelly, no Cosby, no nothing.
I think it
Diddy. No nothing.
Diddy
no
fits.
Celeb, nigga. No celeb.
It was some sexual shit going on. There was somebody threatened to throw hands. I think no Diddy was apparent. It was appropriate. Yeah, he looks amazing. Yeah, so Gail, calm the fuck down. Oprah, get your girl. I don't know what to tell you. Let me see what's next on here. There's really not much here to speak on. What's his last name? It's Michael Richards. Michael Richards.
Yeah.
I do, as a reminder, I did try to pull up
the old footage,
the incident. Yeah. So we gonna take a look at that real quick.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you guys get flagged or anything if you write out the whole nigger? For your
no.
YouTube replays?
No, I mean somebody could complain about it, but we niggas, so I guess I don't know. I push the envelope and just see what's gonna happen.
Okay,
shut up! 50 years ago you had your own tied down with a fucking fork up your ass! You can talk your brain now, motherfucker! Rolls out, he's a nigger! He's a nigger!
Oh my god.
A nigger! Look, there's a nigger! Ooh. All right, you see? It shocks you to see what's buried beneath your stupid motherfuckers! What was it called for? It's not called for you to hear off my ass, you cheap motherfucker! You guys have been talking. I don't know.
This guy's going
What's
nuts.
the matter? Is it too much for you to handle? They're coming. They're gonna arrest me for calling a black man a nigger. I don't arrest shit. Hey, you don't beat the fuck up this time. Wait a minute, where's he going? I'm called for it. Cracker ass? You calling me cracker ass, nigga? I like you. I'm a bad. Oh, you threatening me? What's you, son? Oh, it's a big threat. That's how you get back at the man. That was real called for. Wait a minute, he's not going, is he? You're not funny. That's why you recheck. Never had no show, never had no movie. Seinfeld, that's it. Oh, I guess you got me there. You're absolutely right. I'm just a wash-up. Gotta stand on the stage. Oh, absolutely, that's it. We had it. Well, you know, that man that is. That's not fucking called for it. Oh, no, that ain't necessary. Well, you interrupted me, pal. That's what happens when you interrupt the white man. He's gonna jump you down.
Yeah, I had never seen that whole thing.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's bad.
I mean, he lost his shit.
Yeah, I guess, and the whole reason he's in the news cycle right now is because I guess he's got a memoir coming out. I think it's already out, and he tries to explain why that happened. And he essentially says, you know, I'm not trying to get anybody's sympathy, but I'm not racist. What happened was I was really upset because these guys kept heckling me, and I just went to the lowest hanging fruit, I guess it was his explanation. Just when you have that in the clip, I don't know. I don't know how you get to say you're not racist. You said nigger more. I ain't said nigger that many times during this episode, and I'm a nigger. What the fuck?
Hey, listen. When you're on the show, that's supposedly taking place in New York, and I don't ever remember seeing a black person on it.
Right.
Yeah, I can see how you can be where you are.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess here's what I'll say. I didn't get that vibe from anybody on the cast. I just thought, you know, during that time, there were shows that were pretty white. Friends was a pretty white show. they really didn't have niggas on that show until later, and it feels like that was done for a reason. People are like, you're in New York, and there aren't any black or Latino people around. So I think they tried to make adjustments. But I swear the first 3 seasons, there wasn't no niggas on that show. But I never got a vibe from anybody on the cast that they were racist. I never thought that about Jerry Seinfeld. As a matter of fact, when did y'all remember that clip with Chris Rock, Louis C.K., and Jerry
I know
Seinfeld?
what you're about to say.
And the only person who was uncomfortable was Jerry Seinfeld. He was like, whoa, I'm not cool with this. And everybody else is laughing, including Chris Rock. So, yeah. And I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. The New Adventures of Old Christine with Wanda Sykes. That shit is hilarious. But, yeah, this dude, like, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this.
Yep. I'm sure people didn't expect to see what they saw when they went in Jeffrey Dahmer's refrigerator either. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know what? There's something very similar to going in Jeffrey Dahmer's refrigerator. And that is that what came out was what was inside. And the reason you consider that the low hanging fruit is because it is always in your, anything that's the low hanging fruit is the thing that is the most easiest reached by you because it's always already there. That's what low hanging fruit means. So yes, you were upset. And yes, maybe they overtalked your show. But what would you have had in the clip if they were just human beings? So don't pretend that you're not racist because you didn't just say nigger, which is bad enough and unacceptable. But the things that you were saying in the context of using the word about that's how you get back at the white man, blah, blah, you have just exposed yourself, brother. There's nothing that you can say to clean any of that up. And the reason you didn't see any black folks on Friends is because they didn't want anyone to remember living single at the time. Since they ripped it off from. Show, all they had done was spray some white face on somebody else's shit. So they were like, don't remind them of blacks. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how much I feel about, like, people talk about cancel culture, whatever the fuck that means. Cancel culture to me just reads as accountability and consequence.
Yeah.
You created a cause, you got a consequence. There should be no redemption for him because what's in there is not done. You know what I mean? If people want to forgive him or roll with him or whatever, they can do that. I feel like what we saw was that man's true
Sarah.
You know what I mean? Seriously, I'm gonna do all right.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is one person who, normally cancellations don't stick. Normally it's just to put baby in the corner for maybe a year or two and then, but he was one of the first people I recognized actually was canceled. He never recovered from that. The only thing I saw him, and I did giggle at this because it was one of my favorite shows. Did y'all see the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where they had him on it?
No.
And they incorporated what he did into the episode. And if in some way there was a way to turn this into something that everybody could, where you could still be mad at him and then laugh at it, Larry David kind of pulled it off in that episode. But that was the only time I saw him kind of poke his head out. And I think they had a Seinfeld reunion and he popped up for that. But yeah, he really did get canceled over this.
I think that Larry David is a genius at doing that.
He definitely is.
In the way that the people, Norman Lear or whoever was behind All in the Family, in the way that South Park deals with those things, the reason that they're geniuses at being able to do that is because they are actually not racist.
Right.
So you can tell from the shit that homeboy from Curb Your Enthusiasm, why is this happening to me?
Larry David?
That Larry David says and does as it relates to black folks, you can tell that he has had his encounters and his whatever, and he's very self-aware about it, but he's clearly able to make some of the moves he does, like when he had the black family first
Man, Meet the Blacks with JB Smooth. Oh my God, this classic.
Came on, and my man was like, okay, well, I just want to start by saying this. I have a tendency to say very stupid things to and around black people. Like, that was the first shit he said to him. Or he's like talking about your color. He's like, hey, you like your color? He's like, oh yeah, man, I'm like a mocha, like a Chinese. You like your color? He's like, No, not really. It's kind of like an oatmeal or something, a porridge. But he's like, when he talks about things, you can tell that he comes from a place of, even the stuff he's been doing that I've seen more recently about his Jews versus Palestine thing, is that he's able to do it from a truly not racist, not bigoted perspective that you need. Michael Richards doesn't have that. And what he did when he brought him on was to try to save him. And I don't know the timing on the thing you're talking about with Louis C.K. and Chris and Jerry, but if that happened at any point at all after this explosion,
that definitely happened after.
Like,
yeah, this was
nigga,
after.
wait, whoa. Take it easy. Don't say that shit in front of me, because so that might have been why.
It was weird.
I don't think that those people are those other folks are. I think that's why that works for some people, like Louis C.K. or the other dude that you would never know had a black wife or whatever. The reason they're able to do the things they do is because they're not racist, and that he doesn't get that card from me.
Louis C.K. So Louis C.K. used to be my favorite comedian. Louis' TV show, it was the craziest thing. He would do this shit on the show. Louis C.K.'s show was loosely based on his real life, but it was exaggerated. So he's got these 2 daughters, and the daughters are white. His ex-wife on the show is a black woman. And they never explain what that was. And it was the funniest thing. But, the other thing, something funny happened. I told my mom, a friend of mine turned me on to Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I started watching it, and I binged. I couldn't stop watching it. It's so funny. So I told my mom about it, and my mom was like, I can't watch that. I said, why? She's like, I can't look at that man. I can't look at that man a whole episode. He too funny looking. I can't. I said, you will get over it. So she watches it, calls me. She's like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I said, I told you. So I had my whole family watching it, right? So my mom and sister came to visit me. It was the first time they came to California to visit me. And it was a newer season, and we watched the episode, and it was the one where Vanessa Williams' brother was on it, and he played this character called the Crazy Eye Killer. He was Wanda Sykes' fiance. And so we watched that episode, and it's crazy because he's cheating on Wanda, and he tells Larry that he's out in these streets eating pussy. He's like, you ever eat Asian pussy? And Larry is like, no, I only eat my wife's pussy. And so he tells his wife, Cheryl. Cheryl goes and tells Wanda. And now Larry is scared because the dude is like, he playing a gangster on the show. So at any rate, we watched that episode. I take my sister with me to a party that night. And the motherfucker show, the Crazy Eye Killer, was at the party. It was the weirdest coincidence. It was the weirdest coincidence. But yeah, I love that show.
I don't know if I watched it early on, and I think the episode that got me hooked, and it's horrible. Please, if there's anybody in there, please don't fault me, question me on this. He was eating his wife and fucked around and got a hair stuck in his throat and couldn't get rid of it for the whole episode. And it was like, that's why I hate that. That's why I fucking hate doing that, and he was going to go, oh my shit, that was. But another the comedian I was thinking of, because I just looked him up while we were talking because I couldn't remember his name, is Bill Burr, and the shit that he talks about, because he's a very very white dude.
And if you don't know better, if you don't know better with Bill Burr, because he's abrasive, a person, I can see somebody thinking he's one of these real red pill racist dudes, but I saw him live one time. Couldn't be anything further from the truth.
No, not at all. He's got a black wife that he loves very much, but he has managed to do that without changing his personal culture of who he was growing up and shit at all, which I admire. He's like, oh yeah, I don't have to turn into the black speaking, you know what I mean? So I don't have to black it up. He's like, I love my wife. That's good enough for that. But he's got jokes about their race relationship because she's black.
Yes.
Said they was watching a documentary about Elvis Presley, and she was like, so what do you think? And he's like, oh. He's like, I don't want to fucking. Why are we? I don't want to fucking do this. Why are we doing this? Oh man, yeah, he's another one of those people that's able to talk about those things. Because before I learned that about him, just exactly what you said, I was always version of like, this dude's personality is very libertarian.
Yeah, and
Not
isn't
his
he,
politics,
he's from
his
Boston.
personality. You're like, I don't know where you stand on things. and now we do know, but yeah, that's just one of that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he's from Boston, and that Boston accent don't help because you know niggas hear Boston accent sometimes, and it's
Hey, it's like
And
a southern accent.
the first thing you think about with a Boston accent is Marky Mark trying to beat a Vietnamese person alive because he was so fucking racist, and now being one of the biggest stars in the world. Like, nigga, you went to jail for trying to beat somebody to death for being Asian. You went to jail for attacking black people in the streets of Boston for being black. Now look at you.
And he tried to get his record expunged, and it was rejected. And I remember that was a big deal because it's like, yeah, that's great that you turned your life around, but why should you be able to expunge your record when niggas don't get to do it, and it affects us for the rest of our fucking lives, and we're already disenfranchised? You know, that's good for you that you changed your life, but you got to walk around with that. You got to bear the same fucking cross everybody else does. Just as you a movie star don't make you no different. Everybody gonna be able to look up and see what the fuck you did, and that's the life that you got to live, you know?
Sarah's talking about that documentary. I don't know if you ever saw it, with the documentary about Curb Your Enthusiasm saving that dude's life
at the Dodger game. That shit is mind
we might have
blowing.
talked about it before. That was a good documentary. I didn't see it coming at all. I was like, that was dope.
It was. Another good episode from him is when these kids, I think they selling, I don't know if they selling candy bars or whatever, but of course he's a curmudgeon, so he gets in a conflict with the kids and they make fun of him because he's bald. And so at some point, the police show up at his house, I think because he's antagonizing the kids for making fun of him being an old bald man. And so the police officer is this tall, strapping, brown god of a man. And Larry's like, yeah, these fucking kids, they're making fun of me because I'm bald. And the guy's like, why does that bother you? And he's like, well, of course it bothers me. I'm bald. And the guy goes, I'm bald. And Larry's like, it's not the same thing.
He's like, come on, don't. He's like, come on, don't do that.
He was like,
all balds are not the same.
He was like, your bald reads as sexy. Mine reads as Larry David. It's not the same thing. Oh my God. We go end on that, y'all. I was gonna read. Trump did a post on Truth Social, basically whining about all his trials and tribulations with the legal system, and people have been clowning him for it because Biden and Obama have put up posts celebrating and honoring the fallen soldiers that this day is for. It's just I'm just getting tired of talking.
He's playing about to his. He knows what he's doing. He know what he's doing. He's playing to his base.
But that's the thing. His base is supposed to be the party of patriotism. That's what's crazy. It's like the bar is always moving. They never hold him to task. It's like, I like my soldiers that don't get. I like my war heroes that don't get called and all this other shit. Hold him to task for it.
But he can't make a post about the soldiers on Memorial Day right now because it points a spotlight to his bone spurs. So
that's trend. That was trending earlier today because yeah.
But that's why he can't. He doesn't want to. I mean, it's kind of a weird tactic where he's in a lose-lose position on Memorial Day every year. So
true.
An attack about how he's being attacked might play better with his folks, and because they're all so pro-military. Because I don't know, man. I like Memorial Day, I guess, or whatever, and all that shit. And I do admire to a great extent our soldiers fallen or living or whatever, but I don't worship them, man, because I don't worship war, and I don't feel like any of the things that they've fought for and died for are real. I won't say real. I'll just say, like, they are patriots. They're doing it for the right reasons, but they're being used for all the wrong reasons. And yes, it's costing them lives and shit. This country doesn't treat them right when they come back. This country doesn't treat them right while they're out there. This country does not give a fuck about them soldiers, except for something to point at for America's very, very fake exceptionalism. So we've been at war forever and ever and ever. We've lost a lot of soldiers. Yes. We ain't won a fucking war. We haven't won a war since World War II. Once you stop killing them if you want to fucking worship them so much and then treat them right, give them services, make sure they have homes when they're here. So I'm not a Memorial Day guy, but I do love our troops.
It's such
Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's such a it's such a combustible topic. It's like you should be able to say things critical about the military, but you know, as soon as you do, you're not a patriot, you're not a real American. So most people just keep their opinions to themselves. It's not to shit on the soldiers, you know. But,
no, never.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when you criticize the military, that's how people take it. And, you know, they start, you know, well, you ain't doing blah, 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 blah. And, you know, not to even touch upon what is sold to a lot of minorities as an alternative route to, you know, wealth or education disproportionately. That's a whole other story. But
not just people of color. People without means, exploitable people are exploited by it all the time because they are just cannon fodder, and they know that they can, if nothing else, they can send you out to die, literally to die.
What I will say is this, though. In the world that we have created for ourselves as America, without a military, we wouldn't be as feared as we are.
Absolutely true.
Oh no, that's true.
And I'm, please believe me again, I know that they protect us in ways that the bully foot that it allows us is great. We're known around the world to be the big spenders on what we do on our military. We're known as the source. That's good. I'm not faulting the soldiers in any way, shape, or form. Somebody called me ageist, and I don't know what they mean, but I like it. But you know that this thing about bringing up the military, like what you said, Antoine, is very similar to what's being used right now for you're an anti-Semite. It's like it is their way of putting a control on you where if you say anything against the military or that they can proceed, or you're shitting on our flag by taking a knee. How in the fuck am I shitting on your flag by taking a knee?
No.
And people are like, you know, our soldiers died for that song. I'm like, our soldiers died for his right to fucking take a knee. Your soldiers died so that he would have a right to take a knee over this fucking song. So I don't know, man. I think they just use it because they feel like it's a way to shut you up and shut you down if you have any criticism, rational, real, or otherwise, for our military complex and what we do in the world using it.
Well, I think also what's always, you know, the hypocrisy. So you're offended by someone taking the knee in protest of police brutality against African Americans, but you fly a fucking flag upside down. Like, that's worse to me. That's on public display in front of, you're a Supreme Court justice and you have an upside down American flag. Like, that feels unpatriotic. That feels demonic even. It feels really off to me. That's completely different from, you know, going down on one knee at a sports event. So yeah, they protest in the same way.
To blame it on your wife.
Yeah, fucking pussy.
Here you are all year since you've been here voting to control what women can do with their wombs, and you're telling me your wife at your house can do whatever she wants with your flag? You a fucking liar. She ain't doing shit at your house, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you spend all your time in women's wombs controlling women you've never seen and won't ever meet, and you can't control your bride, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And I call her a bride, not because that's how I speak, but because fuck that bitch and him too.
True.
Sorry.
On that note, we done went way over.
Sorry.
This was a fun episode though. I got to hang with the fellas for a change.
Hey.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We will be back on Wednesday. We ain't going nowhere. It escapes me. I think Wednesday is Sarah and Chavez. So that'll be interesting. So we will see you then. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. See you Wednesday. Toodles.
Cool.